ones down because you don't need them. You need to be paying attention. All right. So Scribble Art, this is just an ink pen, and it's literally what it sounds like. You're just kind of scribbling. I'm just going to make a sphere that's not perfectly round.
I love it. So it looks good.
So sarcastic there, Americus. Okay. And you notice around the edges, there's a lot of scribbling. And as I go closer in, because I'm trying to create those values, they're getting further apart. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay. There's also on one of the tables where there's some ink pens, there is a book. I think it's that table right there. There's just like a novel, a book with pages in it for reading. These are really cool. This is something someone else showed me and it just tore my husband up because I was defacing a book. But the drawings come out really cool with the letters behind it, and you can do different things. One of the projects I had them do last year is they had to randomly pick a page out of a book, create a story or a sentence like a phrase or something out of the words, block everything else out except those words. And while they're doing it, they have to create a story that goes along with. It was pretty cool. I got into doing faces for a while. That one, I'm not sure what it was because I never finished it, but okay, so I want you to tear out a couple of pages of that book if you're using the ink pens and draw that. Draw on that. Just, it's a sketchbook page. Doesn't have to be anything good or fancy or anything. Okay, but I want you to do at least one page out of that book sitting over there somehow. Okay. All right. So the next thing I'm going to try is calligraphy. Now that went up, that table up there, right now you have the calligraphy box. There is a bottle of black ink sitting on the table. Ink is unforgiving. You guys have used ink pens before writing. If you make a mistake, can you go back and erase unless you have special ink? It stains your clothes too. Does not ever come out. So be aware of that.
Keep that away from my table.
Well, you've got to use it at least some part of the day, of the week. Okay. So can you guys see this? There we go. So you're going to dip your pen in the ink. And for calligraphy, if you keep it steady, I'm shaking this morning. See how this one is a wide tip. And if you keep it all flat on the table, on your paper. What?
No.
Okay. You can go faster if you like writing your name. I need more ink.
Yeah, we have to get closer.
Yeah, I love it. So basically, we just do whatever we want.
It has to be with this stuff. And I want you to try something new every day. So today, whatever's at your table, that's what you're using. Hey, whatever is at your table, that's what you're using today.
Can I pass my page around? I just passed the page. Is that
So
all right?
we
No, because, okay, give it back. Okay.
So are we using this?
All right. Now these droppers are at this front table right here. Okay. Okay. So you take the top off. I've had to tell people that before because they couldn't get it to work. I know, right? Okay. So the way I learned how to use this originally is, you know, those little balls, sucker balls that they use to get snot out of baby's nose.
Yeah.
They taught us how to do this with those. And as you can imagine, trying to clean them out, it was just a pain. It was a total pain. So I found these, and these work the same. You squeeze just a little. Can you guys see? Yeah.
I'm about to have some like sexy writing, bro.
Okay, yeah, I know, right? I actually think that one looks better. But you can also draw pictures with this. Sometime this week, yeah. Okay. So these are really cool. One of the things that we did with these is you would like draw the outlines of a drawing, like flowers, birds, whatever you wanted to do. And then they took acrylic paints after it dried and went on the inside and painted it. And it looked kind of cool. I was not very good at that. I'm not going to show you the ones I did because it was embarrassing. Okay, just so you know. The other one, the markers back there have two different tips. You have a brush tip and an extremely fine tip. So the fine tips, you don't press hard because you will drive them in. They make really fine lines. Okay. You can use them for the scribble art, but they don't work as well as the ink pens, just so you know. And the brush pens, think paintbrush. Some of you have a heavy hand with the paintbrush. You cannot have heavy hands with these. They're light. You're just barely using the tip. This has got a lot of blue in it. But you can use them like a paintbrush. Okay. And like I said, today is just playing around with these. So if you get some really good art, fine. If you don't, that's okay too. And for the inks, I want you using the paper on your table. Ink pens have got regular copier paper. Everything else has this heavier paper that we use for finals. Oh, I can't do that. I'm going to get my hand all messed up. Okay, the next one is stick. These are at this table right here. These are stick inks. This whole thing is solid dried ink. So you've got this little thing here. Let me set it up there so you can see a little bit. Can't really see. There's water in this. Hey, there's water in this. Just plain water. You put the stick in it and you start grinding. I've already done it a little bit to get it going. The more you grind, it's like with the watercolors, the more of the grinding you've got to get the ink into the water, the darker your ink is going to be. See, I've got it pretty dark on there. And that table also has Chinese brushes. And the way you use these, let me get some paper towels here. You want to hold them in a certain way. Only use the tips. Do not scribble and smash these down because these are kind of expensive. The ones I have over there are not the cheap ones. They're not the really expensive either, but they're still not cheap. And if you want it a little darker, you can do it, keep it towards the top. It's how much water you add to the ink. Okay? Are there any questions about anything I showed you so far? No? Okay. I'm going to be bouncing around the room. If you want any help, let me know. Let me stop recording.
You don't need my phone to do that.
I got to figure out how to stop recording. There we go.
This looks like a worm.